Our story starts in 1998, when a Nebraska game shop closed its doors forever. Instead of selling off the leftover inventory, the owner, Mark Odoricio, I don't know how you say his name, but that's how I'm going to say it, he boxed up everything and stored it away. No auctions, no clearance bins, no stickers that say, hey, buy two, get one free. It was just sealed boxes. Now, fast forward to around 2023, and Mark's brother Tim decides it's finally time to deal with the forgotten stash. He calls up Chris Thompson, owner of the Game Room stores in Nebraska. Chris shows up expecting, maybe some loose Madden 94 carts and a sun-bleached copy of Shaq Fu. Instead, he opens the boxes and finds hundreds of factory-sealed games, like perfect corners, untouched shrink wrap, no price stickers, no rental markings, no, my cousin borrowed this and never returned it damage. It was just pure, untouched 90s retail stock. Now, in all honesty, most sealed retro games survive by accident. Warehouse overstock, distributor leftovers, or collectors who bought two copies just in case. I wish I had done that just in case. This is a preserved micro museum of the 16-bit era. From the larger stash, the team curated the 173 most pristine games and officially dubbed them the Nebraska Collection. They weren't just sealed, they were time capsule sealed. We're talking Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, a few NES weird titles, all untouched since the late 90s. It's the closest thing we have to walking into a 1995 game store and saying, yeah, I'll take one of everything. And please don't breathe on them. Don't need your hot breath fogging up everything. And the Nebraska Collection wasn't just rare, it was stacked. Some of the confirmed titles included Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, Final Fantasy 3, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Breath of Fire 2, and Cool World. Yes, it's rare, even if it's, Cool World, whatever. Maybe I'll do a video on Cool World. Meh. But the crown jewel, the game that made collectors lose their minds, Chrono Trigger. And we're giving that one its own section. If you watched my other Chrono Trigger video, you saw I have a case in my basement where it just sits on a shelf and looks pretty. Now, let's talk about the big one. Why Chrono Trigger matters. Chrono Trigger isn't just a great Super Nintendo game. It's one of the most celebrated RPGs ever made. It was created by a dream team of creators. You had Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Dragon Ball, all those guys whose names I can't pronounce, so I'm not going to do it. It's a game that defined a genre. Multiple endings, active time battle system, time-traveling story arcs, gorgeous sprite art, and a soundtrack that still hits like a truck full of nostalgia. Collectors already treat Chrono Trigger like a holy relic. Even opened copies can fetch serious money. But a sealed copy, that's extremely rare. A sealed copy in perfect, untouched, museum-grade condition. Now that's almost unheard of. According to the experts who examined it, the Chrono Trigger found in the Nebraska Collection was one of the cleanest sealed copies ever discovered. It was free of shrink-wrapped warping, there were no corner dings, no discoloration, no tiny imperfections that usually knock sealed games down a grade. Collectors described it as nice a copy as you will ever see. This wasn't just a sealed Chrono Trigger. This was the sealed Chrono Trigger. A copy like that could easily hit between $8,000 and $10,000 on the low end. Much higher if the market just happens to spike. And that's just one game in the collection. To authenticate everything, the Odoriso brothers had the game professionally graded. This wasn't a send the whole box and hope for the best situation. They carefully selected the sharpest corners, the cleanest shrink wrap, the most flawless labels, and the least amount of shelfware. The result was a curated set that felt less like a collection and more like a retro gaming exhibit. This is the kind of thing you'd expect to see behind glass at a convention, not in a storage unit in Nebraska. That's a joke in itself. I don't even have to make a joke for that. Now here's where things get mysterious. Yeah, sure, why not? As of the last confirmed report, the collection wasn't being sold individually. Chris Thompson suggested selling the entire 173 game set as one lot, but there's no public record of a buyer. So either the collection is still intact, waiting for the right collector, or someone quietly bought one of the most pristine retro game hoards ever discovered. No, it wasn't me. Either way, the Nebraska Collection has become a kind of legend, a real world loot drop that most collectors will never see again. The Nebraska Collection is more than just a cool story. It's a reminder of how fragile gaming history really is. I talk about gaming history a lot, especially on this channel. A lot of our gaming history is disappearing. Most sealed games didn't survive. Most stores threw out old stock. They just threw it in the garbage. Most kids opened their games the second they got it home. As they should. But this is a preserved snapshot of the 90s. A perfect freeze frame of an era where RPGs came in big boxes, manuals were thick enough to be novels, and the only DLC you needed was a second controller. It's a miracle that this collection survived at all. So that's the story of the Nebraska Collection. A once-in-a-lifetime retro discovery, complete with one of the cleanest Chrono Trigger copies ever found. Thanks for watching, and remember, somewhere out there, there's another storage unit, and it's hiding the next great generation of retro treasure. Maybe it has every Star Wars game that's been canceled since 2001. All right, bye.